Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We are from DICT Region 9 in Basolta, recognized globally as champion at the World Summit on Information Society Prizes for 3 consecutive years, 2020 to 2022, for our e-employment and capacity building projects, and the winner this 2022 for our Information and Communications Infrastructure project. I am Dana, your host for this afternoon. And on behalf of our Regional Director, Assistant Secretary Maria Teresa Camba, and the entire DICT, muchísimas gracias for joining us. Welcome to the webinar on Teaching with Camtasia. This webinar is in partnership with 𝐞-𝐂𝐞𝐽 and Digital Creatives Worldwide, Autodesk Community Philippines, and JMRC. Joining us are a total of more than 100 participants from our Zoom platform and 77 on our DICT Facebook Live. We are also streaming this across other platforms, so make sure to join us. I believe we are also live on the YouTube account or the YouTube page of 𝐞-𝐂𝐽. That's YouTube/𝐞-𝐂𝐽. To formally start this afternoon's webinar, let us open with a prayer to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
He is exalted and He is exalted and high. I will praise Him. He is exalted forever, exalted, and I will praise His name. He is the Lord, forever His truth shall reign. Heaven and earth rejoice in His holy name. He is exalted, the King is exalted on high.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiling, telas ang sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bangaw, ay hinatang tula, kawin sa paglayang minamahal. Ang iskat ng patawad mo'y tagumpay na naghihingi, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang ay di magdidinig. Lumalang araw ng walang pagsinta, mo'y langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga akin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
To give us the opening remarks, let us all hear from the officer in charge and Chief of Admin and Finance of the DICT Region 9 and Basulta, Sir Aris Austria. Good afternoon, Sir Aris.
Can you hear me? Am I coming clear? Yeah.
Loud and
Good
clear, sir.
afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So first of all, I'd like to greet everyone who's joining us online, particularly our participants who are educators. Basically, they are going to hone young minds, and what better way it is to be creative in our way of teaching by attending this webinar. So we have this afternoon teaching with Camtasia. I'm not going to give it all out because we are so lucky and we are so privileged to have our resource speaker who's going to hold your learning program today. So we have with us, let me welcome Mr. Jomar Bakiran of uh, 𝐞-𝐂𝐽 and Digital Creatives Worldwide. Welcome, sir, and thank you for partnering with the Department of Information and Communications Technology, Regional Office 9 in Basulta. So I believe that everybody's excited, and we are looking forward to what new learnings, creative way of editing our videos, and at the same time, how do we really address the learning gap in our school? Particularly, we have to be creative in our approach in learning and to really capture the attention of our students. So at any level, and considering that this generation has been engaged with ICT, so therefore we as teachers also should be engaging also with ICT, using it as a tool for imparting knowledge. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the DICT Regional Office 9 in Basulta and together with our training team, I welcome you to our training on this webinar on learning Camtasia this afternoon. Maraming salamat po and muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much, Sir Aris, for your warm welcome. Take time to react, guys, comment in this webinar, and share this so that your friends and colleagues can also watch. For our virtual etiquette, just a few reminder that you always have to keep your mic on mute. You may interact with us through the chat box or when there are other online tools such as the Q&A facility on our Zoom platform. Please do note that profanity is strictly prohibited. For our activity, we will have a Mentimeter, question and answer at the end of our session, and of course, a raffle draw. So we will have a few raffle draws this afternoon's webinar. For the attendance, please take note that the evaluation link will be posted at the end of the session and will serve as the attendance. So please wait and watch the webinar until the end kasi sa huli pa po namin ibibigay ang inyong evaluation link. And then for those asking for the issuance of our e-certificates, you need to join the live session via Zoom or Facebook Live, submit the post-evaluation, and your e-certificate will be given within 1 to 2 weeks. So this will be a certificate of participation to those who will be able to comply with the training requirements that I have mentioned. Our schedule for this afternoon, this webinar will run from 2 p.m. until 4 in the afternoon, and we will all be learning about Camtasia. So just a quick activity before we proceed to our resource speaker. We want to know what you want to learn about Camtasia. It could be something new or something that you have already been doing, and what is it that you want to learn about this tool. Go to menti.com, that's www.menti.com, and enter the code 62948091. That's 62948091. Share with us your thoughts on what you want to learn for this afternoon's webinar. Okay, so I hope there are already participants who have shared their thoughts on what they want to learn about Camtasia. So this is actually something new to me. But if some of you may already have been using this tool for quite some time, baka meron po kayong gusto pang matutunan through our webinar this afternoon. And we are privileged to have with us our resource person to join us and teach us about this Camtasia tool. Ayan. So let's read some of your answers. Ayan. How can Camtasia help teachers in their profession? Okay, so especially that it is World Teachers Day tomorrow. So hopefully may additional knowledge po for our educators. Transitions and storyboard. So we'll see if that's included in our learning for this afternoon. We also have ayan, proper recording video tutorials, especially for those who want to create video tutorials. You are at the right webinar for today. Marketing and sales videos. Ayan, let's read two more answers. Be able to learn how to capture and record videos. Yes. And lastly, let's read one last answer. I usually use Canva and Filmora 9 to edit my videos and OBS to record my screen, but I can use Camtasia to record my screen and edit my videos in one application. Yes, so that's great. And hopefully this afternoon's webinar will be a lot of learning experience for all of us. And now to introduce to you our resource speaker. He graduated with a Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering at the Technological University of the Philippines, Manila, and he also gained his diploma in Human Capital Management at the De La Salle College of St. Benilde and a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering at the Mapua University. He is a passionate advocate of STEAM and again, he's a mechanical engineer, Autodesk certified instructor, and Adobe education leader. So we are privileged to have with us our resource speaker for this afternoon. Help me welcome Sir Jomark Bakiran. Good afternoon, Sir Jomark.
Okay. Thank you, Dana. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sir Aris. Ayan. Let's make this interactive. So, I prefer everyone asking questions. We will take note naman. Ayan. Miss Dana, may tanong ka pa?
None so far, sir. Baka along the way, makapagtanong tayo. Because I'm also curious how I will be able to use Camtasia.
Okay, ayan. I've seen comments sa Menti. Transition storyboard. For me, when you know something, no, pag alam na alam mo yung tuturo mo, hindi ako masyadong gumagamit na ng storyboard. So it's all in my mind. But if you're starting out, you can use a storyboard. We'll discuss transitions as well. How can may mga nakita pa ako, how can it help teachers? Well, for me, it was never in my plans to be a teacher. But I guess it's serendipity, tadhana, no? And out of our passion to serve our countrymen, our country, ayan, I was I was pushed to learn these things. Actually, if you can see my YouTube videos way back 9 years ago, you can see me as someone na sobrang mahiyain at yung when I was recording in Camtasia talagang parang bulong na bulong na nagtuturo. Ayan. And ano pa ba? Marketing, sales, video, of course. Explainer videos. Ayan, doing that a lot. Sales, of course. Diba? When you're instructing someone, may it be on your team. Camtasia is a great tool for that. And of course, nagkataon lang, this is Camtasia, so I will be strictly using Camtasia, but on my original workflow, I use a lot of combinations. So Adobe, I use After Effects, Photoshop, ayan, in conjunction with Camtasia. So ayun, ano pa ba? So with that, I think I have the floor now. Okay, but
Yes po,
highly
Sir
encouraging.
Jomar.
Yep. Highly encouraging everyone to ask questions. And yeah, please feel free to connect with me in LinkedIn. So let me now share my screen. Thank you so much, Dana, Joyce, and to the rest of the DICT Basulta team. And before we begin, inviting you to connect with me in LinkedIn for comments, suggestions, and questions. Also, I will be sharing this course to all who have registered. Okay, so registration link in the description below. And before I forget, inviting you all to join our Camtasia learning communities in Facebook. And of course, we are also in LinkedIn. Okay, so learning is doing. Requesting all to download Camtasia. Okay, the link is in the event description and in the registration form. Okay, so we have a lot of things to learn. Yep, let's get started. 9 years ago, I created my first YouTube video. So it's creating a coffee mug using a 3D modeling software. And during that time, of course, I have used Camtasia for the first time. So fast forward, luckily, I became an author in Pluralsight. So if you're familiar with digital tutors, they were acquired by Pluralsight. So I have 4 courses with them. So notice it's way back 2016. And I'm also in Udemy. So currently I have around 6,000 students. Lastly, I'm also in LinkedIn Learning. Previously, this was lynda.com and then acquired by LinkedIn, and the LinkedIn acquired by Microsoft. So here we can see my students for each video course. And all of these video tutorials and courses, of course, were all created with Camtasia. And a plural site and LinkedIn Learning highly recommends using Camtasia for all our video tutorials that utilizes screen recording. And of course, Camtasia 2022 is already out, but for this afternoon, let's utilize Camtasia 2021. Let's now launch Camtasia. So here we are greeted with this initial window. We're all in for a treat, so let's start with a new project. Let me minimize this web browser. Here we are currently in the main program window of Camtasia, which we can perform all the basic operations. Another component of Camtasia, which we will be using for capturing the screen, is the screen recorder. Let's launch this up. Notice the shortcut key for this is letter R. Okay, so notice here we have 5 panels, starting with, of course, the record, pause, stop button. Next, system audio is simply capturing the audio your system creates, whether it's the sound of a video game you're playing, the YouTube audio or music coming from your web browser. So next, another important thing, of course, is the microphone. So showing you, of course, this may depend on your hardware. So for me, I am currently utilizing a USB interface, and this option is the default audio of my laptop. And of course, another important thing, if you're going to record talking head videos, is of course the webcam. So here I have 3 options. Once more, this may depend on your hardware. So currently I am utilizing a Canon EOS webcam, a mirrorless camera. I have here, this one is the default webcam of my laptop, and I have OBS installed in my system as well. And finally, of course, if you're going to record your screen, of course, you should enable this. So notice under this drop down, I have 3 monitors. So currently, I am pointing my screen recorder on my second monitor, which currently has Photoshop. Let me turn off our webcam for now. And notice on the upper left, as I select capture, notice record screen and microphone is currently active. Another important thing in our screen recorder is under our tools. So here under preferences, under general, so for me, I highly suggest you disable show recorder countdown. Of course, this is for you to save time. But of course, if you're starting out, feel free to enable this. But as you go ahead and get comfortable working with Camtasia, definitely highly suggesting you disable this. So another one, I'm going to enable this all. So restore cursor. This is important if you're, of course, teaching a software and the cursor or the mouse the location of your mouse pointer. Another important thing, of course, do not capture the recorder. Definitely the recorder, this recorder, and exit the recorder after recording is stopped. Open editor, of course, after recording. This will automatically bring you to the main program window for the files. This one is important. Before you begin recording, it's important you set the default output folder. So in Camtasia, heading over, of course, first to our folder. So I have created initially my target folder to where I'm going to store all of the assets or files related. So pointing this to 2021, selecting folder. In addition, the reason we're pointing the recorder to a specific folder is Camtasia's recorder creates a file, and this is where the recorder will save all of those recorded files. So that file has an extension of a .trec. So later we'll discover that more. Moving forward, under inputs, highly suggesting you set this to 30 frames per second to minimize the file size. Let's have this set to 30 frames per second. And under the recording encoder, highly suggesting you set this to Camtasia's default TSC2. So this is probably TechSmith Camtasia 2 encoder. The camera dimensions will depend on your hardware, and the same with the target capture frame rate. Now under shortcuts, I prefer F1 for record, pause, and resume. I chose this keyboard shortcut as it normally doesn't have any conflict with the softwares I typically teach. Let me quickly restore the defaults for you to see the default keyboard shortcuts. So I have press restore default, so changing this back to F1, hitting F1 on my keyboard, and for stop, F2. So that doesn't go into conflict when I'm recording a specific computer software. So selecting OK, and with our screen recorder pointed to my screen 2 with Photoshop opened, let's make a quick recording. So recall I assigned F1 for record. Okay, so once more, pointing or opening my application, which is currently Photoshop for demonstration purposes. And let me hit F1 for record. Hitting F1. And so notice the time. We have here restart, pause, and stop. So recall, if I hit F1, we are currently in pause mode. F1 again to resume, and F2 to stop. So let me now stop the recording, hitting F2. And notice here, as mentioned earlier, the recorder of Camtasia creates a .trec file. So once more, that screen recording has a file name extension of .trec. And because we defined our output folder, it automatically heads over or creates that trec file into this folder. So selecting save. And here's the recorded version or the output of what we have recorded a while ago. So let me hit the space bar to play this up. And so notice the time. We have here restart. Okay,
Pause
hitting the
and
spacebar once
stop.
more
So
to
recall
stop.
if I hit F1.
And before we discover the user interface of the main program window, let me show you the today's setup. To begin with, I'm simply using a dynamic mic. Advantage of this is it doesn't pick up the sound coming from the mic's rear, and that's a good noise rejection. If you have an acoustically treated and silent room, opt for a condenser mic. Another advantage of dynamic microphone is its cost. The mic is way cheaper than condenser mics. Next is the USB interface. This is where our microphone is plugged into, may it be an XLR or TS connection. USB interface offers flexibility. In this setup, I can even plug a bass or guitar. And finally, as a webcam, I am currently using a mirrorless camera, specifically the old Canon M50. If you're planning for an upgrade, highly suggesting you focus on a decent microphone afterwards. Invest in a mirrorless camera. Okay, I guess the next question is, are you still there? Let's do a quick raffle draw. I want you to type in. I think we're also live in YouTube. I want you to type in the comments section. Hashtag all caps Camtasia. Okay, so once more in the comment section, preferably in YouTube. Hashtag Camtasia. So the prize is after and or before the Q&A portion, we will be giving away a 3 months subscription to LinkedIn Business Premium and Learning subscription. So here I made a quick search. So if you would like to learn more about instructional design, they have 14 courses about instructional design to help you out create tutorials. In addition, if you want to level up in video editing, here are some of their courses. And of course, LinkedIn Learning also has courses about business, may it be creativity, and definitely technology as well. So hope for the winner, hope you will use this wisely. Okay, so going back to learning with Camtasia. Recall, previously we tweaked the settings of the recorder, and on our main program window, let's now tweak our preferences. So here at the bottom, preferences, under program, I'm going to leave this at their defaults. The thing that I'm interested in is under projects. So for me, I typically create video tutorials having a dimension of 1080p, frame rate at 30, and specifically for this version of Camtasia, I would like to add audio effects right after I import them into our timeline. So I'm going to disable this auto normalize loudness. Let's head over to advanced, and for here at times Camtasia suddenly crashes. Under hardware acceleration, I want you to enable use software only mode. So with that, let's select OK. I have been a LinkedIn user since 2007, And out of that 15 years, I am fairly conversant on how to use the power of job hunting in LinkedIn. So today, let me teach you how to hunt for jobs in LinkedIn. Let's have a clean slate. I'm going to delete this recording with this selected, hitting delete, placing our playhead at the start, and let's launch Camtasia's recorder, hitting R. For this video tutorial, we require a talking head. So let's enable our webcam. Next, let's set our target screen. I'm going to bring in my target web page. Next, in addition, let me bring in our program window. And notice here under voice narration, we can type out a script. Let me paste my script here. More, we are going to record a talking head, and recall we utilize the keyboard shortcut F1 to start recording. Let me record the first few lines, and as always, remember to smile. Okay, so staring at the camera, hitting F1. Are you a graphic designer looking for a job? Well, you have come to the right place. Hitting F2. Saving this to our target folder. Selecting save. And let me rename this instead to -1. Hitting enter. And we're now seeing the recording of the talking head and the screen recording. In addition, notice here there are sound waves. So with this, I can select this track, right click, and a separate audio and video. Let's check the recording with our playhead at the beginning, hitting spacebar for play. Are you a graphic designer looking for a job? Well, you have come to the right place. Hitting spacebar once more to stop. Bringing back our playhead at the start. And in addition, I can head over on top of this track within this horizontal line. So notice I can pull this up to adjust the track height. Next, I'm going to select our audio recording. And notice this line. This line represents the preferred average audio height. So with that in mind, we need to boost the sound waves. With this audio selected, I'm going to head over to audio effects. Let's add an audio compression. I can left click and hold, drag and drop on this track. So notice under settings, it now has an audio compression. In addition, let's play this audio. Are you a graphic designer looking for a job? And if you're hearing what I'm hearing, I'm only hearing the sound on my right side. So with that, with this track selected, I'm going to head up and enable mix to mono. In addition, to reach this preferred peak, let's set up or crank up the gain to 250. Let's check. Are you
Hitting
a
play.
graphic designer looking for a job? Well, you have come to the right place.
And hitting stop. For the start of our clip, we only need the talking head. So let me head over to our canvas, grab our talking head, and left click and hold. Let's move this to the center. So notice it snaps. And to enable snapping, it's simply heading over to view. Notice here I have enabled canvas snapping, playhead snapping, and timeline snapping. Let's resize this. Heading over to this grip. So notice my cursor turned into a double arrow. I'm going to hold Control, resizing this to maintain its aspect ratio. Heading to our timeline, I have no need for track 1, which is a screen recording. I'm going to move this to the right. Okay, I prefer this type of size, not full blown. Also, to zoom extents to all of your tracks, it's simply hitting Control Shift and 7. So notice we have the full visibility of our tracks. Let's check.
Are you a graphic?
Okay, moving my playhead here. To the moment, I'm still smiling. I'm going to select these 2 tracks and split this up by hitting S, selecting these 2 clips, hitting delete, and reselecting this remaining clip or the other half, moving this to the left. Let's check.
Are you a graphic designer looking for a job? Well, you have come to the right place.
And before we forget, notice our project is still untitled. Let me hit Control S for save. And I save this to our target location. Let me name this to Job Hunting Tips. Selecting save. Let's head back to our voice narration and check out our script. From here, let's create another recording. This time, let's utilize voice narration. So let me record this line, resizing my canvas with my playhead placed here. Let's now select Start Voice Recording. Let me show you how to hunt for jobs in LinkedIn. Warning, before you do this technique, highly suggesting you brush up your profile with this course before you proceed. And selecting stop. Let's rename this. I prefer naming this numerically so that I can sort them out. Selecting save. Again, resizing our canvas. Control Shift 7 to see all the clips. And let me move this to the right and to trim out. Once more, selecting these clips, hitting S, deleting these 2 clips, moving this one here. In addition, I can hit F for favorites. Now, to add a favorite, let me head over to Audio Effects. From here, I can select this star to place this to our favorites folder. So with audio compression already a favorite, I can left click and hold, drag and drop, heading over to settings, enabling mix to mono, and cranking this up to 250. Heading back to our timeline, let me check to the right place. Let me show you how to hunt for jobs. So I feel there's still too much silence here. So I'm going to head over to this area, hit S, trimming down this portion of our audio, moving this to the left. Once more, right place. Let me show you how to hunt for jobs in LinkedIn. Let me move my playhead here. So notice we don't have any graphics. And this time, instead of a talking head, how about we match some text with this audio? Let's now head over to annotations. And I'm going to select this text. I'm going to drag and drop this to track 4. Copying the text. Next, I'm going to double left click here and hit Control V to paste. Let me enlarge this letter and resize this. Holding Control to have this centered. And let me change the spelling of LinkedIn to L and a big letter I. With a text box in place, how about moving this clip up to here? Next, let's add a behavior. So notice as I hover over, it gives us a preview. And for this text, I prefer drifting. Let me drag and drop this to our text. So notice it turns into green. Release. Move our playhead. And let's check. Let me show you how to hunt for jobs in LinkedIn. Warning. Looking nice. Next, moving my playhead here. Moving this clip. Snapping this to our playhead. Next, on the sound wave, I mentioned warning. Let's utilize annotations once more. Selecting this option, left click and hold, drag and drop. Moving this clip to the right. And let's type in warning. In addition, I can head over to our settings and jack up the size. Okay, so how about we do another raffle draw? I want you to comment down hashtag DICT9IX Basulta. So take note of the capitalization. Okay, and we will pick out the lucky winner on our Q&A portion. So once more, comment down hashtag DICTIX Basulta. Okay, so going back to Camtasia, this is an excess audio, so let's trim this out. I'm going to select this clip, hitting S to split this, and later we're going to delete this. In addition, we have a warning word here. How about adding some sound effects? So heading over to Media Bin, here I can double left click and locate the target assets. I'm going to hit cancel. Another way is simply grabbing or heading over to your folder
I have this sound effects. I'm going to left click and hold. I can drop it here or drop it directly into our timeline. So hovering over here, release, heading back to Camtasia. Next, let's increase the track height for us to see the audio wave. In addition, recall Control-Shift-7. Zoom extends the clips on our timeline. To zoom in, it's Control-Shift and a plus. So once more, Control-Shift and a plus to zoom in, and of course, minus, Control-Shift-minus to zoom out. Let me resize our canvas, moving the sound effect here. Let's strike a balance between our voice and the sound effect. Let me move my playhead here, move our sound effect, and let's reduce the volume of this warning sound. With this sound effect selected, I'm going to head up to gain. Let's check. The gain if set to 50. Let's park our playhead here and hit play.
Warning, before you do this technique,
Okay, selecting the sound effect back, and I prefer reducing this or setting this to 20%.
warning, before you do this technique, highly suggesting file with
Sounds nice. And because this is a warning text, how about changing the color to red? So with this text selected, heading over to our settings under this drop down, and let's move this circle or left click here to change its color. In addition, we can key in here for the exact color by specifying the exact hex value. Let's spice up our warning text by adding a behavior. So heading up to the left, how about adding in jump and fail, left click and hold, drag and drop to our text.
warning, before you do this technique, highly suggesting you brush up.
Looks nice. Let's now focus on this clip. But first, let's zoom extents, Control-Shift-7. And let's scrub our playhead. So this is the moment wherein we mentioned this course. Let me trim this out. Hovering over to the right tail of this clip. Notice the change in my cursor and the snapping this to these two clips. And by now, you may be curious, how can we move incrementally by frame? So notice our playhead is parked here. I can hit dot and a comma to move right and left. So for moving to the right, so notice I am pressing the period button or the dot, and to move left, it's the comma. So let me park my playhead here, move one frame to the left, hitting the comma button on my keyboard. Let's create another screen recording, selecting record. Notice our recorder is in the to be recorded area. And recall, we enabled do not capture recorder on screen. So let me now hit F1 and begin talking. As a graphic designer, you're a master of Adobe Photoshop. In LinkedIn, let's head over to Jobs. Type in the search bar Photoshop. Hitting enter. And in the Philippines, these are some of the companies that requires Photoshop skills. Hitting F2.
Back in Camtasia, let's head over to our media bin, drag our latest recording, placing this here. Let me delete this excess audio and park my playhead around here. Hit S to split this up, delete this excess. In addition, to scroll over horizontally within our timeline, it's holding Shift and rolling our scroll wheel. Once more, Shift and rolling our scroll wheel. Let me head over back to our clip. I'm going to right click the separate audio and video. Hit F for audio for favorites. Let's add in our audio compression. Mix to mono. Crank this up to 250. And let's check. You proceed. As a graphic designer, you're a master of Adobe Photoshop. In LinkedIn, let's head over to Jobs. Type in the search bar Photoshop. Hitting enter. And in the Philippines, these are some of the companies. Okay, so notice I stopped. That requires Photoshop skills. Okay, so when recording, you have two options. You can pause while it's continuously recording for you to think what you're going to say next, or simply hit F1 to pause the recorder. So notice here, I forgot to hit the pause button. But of course, I know that we can use the trim tools to revise or edit this clip up. So here, I'm going to create a window selection, selecting this to clip, hit S, move over here, select these two clips, hit S, select the two clips at the middle, hit delete, and move this to the left. Okay, so moving forward, let's discover how to create those zoom in and zoom out animations. Let's grab the playhead and let's scrub. So this is where we went over to the jobs icon. So before here, at this point, after this audio, let's now head in to animations. And my preferred way of creating zoom and pan animations is selecting custom. So here I'm going to left click and hold, drag and drop. So notice it snaps on our playhead. And from here, with this animation selected, let's head over to our canvas. Let me resize this. Pan this over here. Having the jobs at the middle. So let's check, let's scrub. In LinkedIn, let's head over to jobs. And at this point, we went over to the search section. So from here, let's drop in another custom animation. Left click and hold. Let's snap this to our playhead. And before we move this recording in our canvas, notice the animation active is this one at the left. So let's select our latest animation. Heading back to our canvas, moving this to the right. Let's check. Scrubbing this in. Let's head over to jobs. Type in the search bar Photoshop. Hitting enter. Okay, and at this moment, let's revert back to full screen. Heading over to animations, let's add another custom animation, snapping this to our playhead, and heading over to settings, let's scale this back to 100% on position, keying in 0, tab 0, and let's check. LinkedIn, let's head over to jobs, type in the search bar Photoshop, hitting enter, and in the Philippines, these are some. Okay, looking nice. In addition, always move backwards to have a feel of your teaching flow. So here, let me play this. Requires Photoshop skills. Hitting stop. So I'm going to select these two clips, hit S for speed. So this is an indication that my next recording, I'm going to delete these two clips and bump that new recording here. Let's create another recording. Hitting R for record. And this time, we don't have a need for screen capture. So I'm going to disable this, enabling microphone only. And of course, always move backwards to have a feel of your teaching or voice tone. Let's now hit F1. To add, LinkedIn is a database and recruiters searches for keywords. Hitting F2. Here's our new audio recording. Dragging this here. Release. Deleting these two clips. Splitting this up. Or simply moving our audio here. And this time, we're going to reuse the screen recording. So notice I can extend this up to here, but for this section we need additional frames. So with that in mind, another technique, I'm going to move one frame to the left, hitting comma. Next, I'm going to hit Control Shift and F. So here we have an image coming from this recording, moving this down here, snapping this here, and adding our typical audio enhancements. So with that, again, we're open for questions. So I hope you're getting the flow. Okay, so that's basically the workflow of doing this. So I don't want to show you bit by bit, but if you're planning uh, to master Camtasia, the target would be you should be recording at least you can do a 5 to 6 minute video within an hour. Ayan. So I'll just send you hindi ko natatapusin tong buong ano. I will not finish this whole uh tutorial. To all who have registered, we will be sharing the end result of this. So feel free to watch this or hook it up in YouTube. And to export this in Camtasia, it's simply heading over to custom production. So if you're starting out, definitely this will be empty. But typically, for us, in the past 3 years, we're utilizing 1280 by 720 because most of the
people doesn't have fast and reliable internet. Okay, so to create or to export this out in for YouTube or your any preferred platform, so it's simply selecting new. Okay, so let's say our preferred preset is about for TikTok. Okay, naming this to 1080 by 1920, having a description of TikTok. Okay, so here we have formats, various formats. So if you're planning to host this on your e-learning site, okay, you may utilize Smart Player having an HTML5. Okay, so for here, we're planning to export this out for, let's say, for YouTube. Okay, I'm going to select next. And as mentioned earlier, we have the option for LMS. So I'm going to disable controller. The size, typically this one is some beginners. This one is confusing at times. So that's why earlier I have reiterated that defining the project settings, what size are you planning to output this? So here suggesting you use the editing dimension. So for this project, recall this is 1920 by 1080. Okay. Under video settings. Okay, so highly suggesting you crank this up only at 275 because if you go way above, it's just the same. It takes up a lot of uh space. Okay, frame rate. Let me just reiterate about frame rate. So our eyes, if you would like to see a cinematic look, you may opt in for 24 frames per second. So definitely if it's just video tutorials, okay, screen recording, highly suggesting the frame rate to be at 30. So the H.264 is typical for a YouTube. Is the equivalent for MP3. Okay. So with this, highly suggesting you set this to baseline. Okay, and auto. So this is some of the items that I've learned through the years because every uh, massive, I forgot the term, MMO, the ones creating those massive courses, they have a set of guidelines on how to create uh, your course and the specific tweaks, okay, for Camtasia. And finally, for audio settings, this one doesn't took or consume much of a file size, but for me, I just opt in for 256 and selecting next. Okay, you have the option, of course, to include your watermark, or again, if you're planning to use, definitely Camtasia is also very powerful. Once more for LMS works for your if you're doing LMS. Okay, so selecting finish. And as I close this one, notice here under export, okay, we have that reverted setting. Okay, so in addition, probably some of you guys may be asking, uh, what if I want to render out a specific section of my video? Okay, let's say this portion only. Okay, so with that, we can detach. Notice here the red one and the green one. We can detach this. Let's say I would like to capture this specific section only. Okay, with that, I can right click once more, right click and produce timeline selection as. So here, let's set this to 1920. How about saving this somewhere here? So again, I guess definitely some of you will be asking questions on typically about the hardware. So if you're opting to be in the industry or to be in the profession of a video editor, highly suggesting um, you first invest on a good CPU, RAM, and then GPU. So uh, like a Premiere Pro, on the average, when I'm doing my work, typically I have Photoshop, After Effects, Camtasia opened all at once. And on the average, it takes up around 30 plus, 30 plus in RAM. Okay, so here I'm just showing you what my hardware is consuming right now. So it's around 13 gigabytes of RAM. So another thing that I would like to share, um, definitely, I hope we have inspired you to level up. And what we do whenever we create courses is at times, if you have the time, of course, much time, much quality, we have the option here as well to export this out as audio only. Okay. So if I export this out in audio, I have now the I have now the ability to bring this over to After Effects and create much more serious animations. Okay? So definitely there's a lot of things to learn. Let me share another one. And if you're getting serious, highly suggesting, I don't know how this will happen, Miss Dana, but for all who are with us right now, highly suggesting you check out the registration form. Okay, I may not be able to cover everything else, but definitely this course that I have prepared for you all ay sobra na po. Okay, I have discussed everything, all the techniques. But for what we have discussed today, I hope you have realized that it is very simple. Okay, very simple lang naman siya. And tatandaan nyo lang, I have shared the settings a while ago that those are important settings. And again, siguro may magtatanong ulit about the storyboard. Um, it is advisable at times pag hindi masyadong hindi pa masyadong sanay, but if you know what you're teaching, you don't need a storyboard anymore. What I typically create when I'm teaching, for example, I have uh, another course coming up. Let me share to you the raw file. So these are my notes when creating a course. So I have everything else in my mind. So I typically record 5 to 6 minutes, and with every Camtasia, let's just say for this one, I discuss about bodies and components, moving forward, and just taking some notes. And there are times, ayan, na minsan like me, minsan napapabisaya din ako. Again, you have the option for voice narration. So, uh, in addition, it to gain confidence, I also took Toastmasters para lang magkaroon ng confidence na magsalita. And actually, up to now, at times nakikringe na-mention ko kanina, naki naki-cringe pa rin ako when I saw my friggin' face and my voice. So, it is fun if you'd like to quickly learn something fast, I guess, teach it, okay? So, accepting questions now, kung nandiyan pa ba kayo? Ayan, Miss Dana, unmute. Okay.
Sorry, ayan, may question po tayo from one of our Zoom participants, Sir Pepito Dizon. What's the advantage of using Camtasia over Filmora? Is Camtasia also free? Yun yung question niya.
Ayan. Well, Filmora, sorry hindi ko masyadong gamit. What I know about Filmora, I've been trying to contact them lately, but Filmora po is a Chinese company. Ayan,
Oh.
Filmora, Chinese. Chinese yan. And yeah, similar to TikTok. Okay, but Filmora is more of a typical parang ano yan parang Camtasia kaya lang hindi pang screen recorder na Premiere Pro. Ayan. So the reason I was trying to create a tutorial on how to look for jobs is definitely the market for video editing is booming. Ayan. Hope I answered that question, Sir Pepito Dizon.
Yes, sir. Free naman po ang Camtasia. You can just download it po. It's open source naman. Sa mga interested to try out this application po. Ayan. So, any more questions po, you can chat them sa ating Facebook live chat or even for those joining us sa ating YouTube live and our Zoom platform. So far, we have some comments no from Sir Carl John. Okay lang po yun, Sir Mark, basta maka-create lang ng high quality content.
Yeah. The key here whenever you're creating video is speed. Ayan. So kanina I am challenging everyone na try to make a video tutorial na having a length duration of 5 to 6 minutes within an hour. So ito siguro yung roadblock sa mga teachers at times yung kung hindi ka sanay na magharap-harap sa sa camera. Ayan. Pero again, highly suggesting you check out our form. We will enroll everyone. I don't know with your side, Miss Dana, but I think we can enroll. Kaya lang manual kasi, so we're highly suggesting na they do the enrollment themselves.
We have another relevant question po from Sir Clifford Corpus sa ating Facebook. And similar din po siya sa question ng one of our participants sa Zoom. Sir, available po ba sa Android ang Camtasia? Is this available, sir, for mobile devices din po?
Ay, sadly hindi. Ano siya, sir, may serious siya ng onte kasi talaga sa kaya malaki ang files. Actually, nakita kanina ni Miss Dana yan and the rest of the team,
Yes.
it took 30 minutes ata for me to render something in Camtasia. So it consumes a lot of processing power kaya hindi kaya ng Android. Pero mas light naman in comparison to After Effects and Premiere Pro.
Ayun po.
May background remover din po ba ang Camtasia? Yes, there is. Okay, it's under visual effects. Ayan, we can remove a color. So if you're planning to utilize green screens, yes, we can do that.
I'll just read po another question from Sir Jose Halon sa ating Zoom. Can I use low quality video in Camtasia? I think pwede naman, but what are ano po yung magiging effect nito if we use low quality video, Sir Jomar?
Ayan, I think na-discuss din siguro 'to sa mga nagturo sa atin nung nakaraan ng mga video editing. Again, the number one rule po, okay lang po kahit, it's okay kahit mobile phone lang 'yan. But what really matters is yung audio po talaga. So, reiterating, you invest on a good, microphone.
Microphone, yes.
O kahit anong ganda pa ng video na 'yan, tapos irritating to the ears, ayaw na, ayaw na. And do'n din makikita yung quality at saka pagiging veteran ng isang editor 'pag umabot na tayo sa pagde-design ng tunog, sound design.
Ayun po. Thank you so much for answering, Sir Jomar. Ayan, may hahabol pa po ba sa ating mga questions? Ayan, so pwede pang humabol para sa ating raffle. Just comment #Camtasia, #DICT9Basulta. Eto sir, basahin ko lang, may pahabol po. Si Sir Zhao Dinawana Tiempo. Good afternoon. This is my first time to hear about Camtasia. Required po ba ang signal when using Camtasia, sir? Or is this an online app?
Yep. No, 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 it's a standalone app.
Ayun, so standalone po siya.
Standalone.
And may pahabol din si Sir Clifford Corpus. Sir, ano pong gamit nyo sa audio nyo? Napaka-crispy po kasi ng boses nyo. Parang DJ po sa radio. Nag-invest si Sir Jomark sa magandang mic. Ano yung advice niyo, sir?
Bolero ka, Sir Clifford. Hindi, hindi. Hindi, sir. Actually, mura lang 'to. 2.5 lang ata 'to, sir. Mas mahal yung iba, sir. Yung mga typical na meron pa nga kami dito 1.5 lang, eh. Ang advantage po talaga ng dynamic, 'di ba? Ma'am, 'di ba humina, 'di ba?
Yes.
Nare-reject niya yung noise. Okay, it's okay kung condenser talaga. If you're in a acoustically treated room, kasi condenser much sensitive yung pick up niya ng sound waves. So the best ang next step, interface po talaga. So I also love music. I play guitar. Kaya gamit na gamit. And meron din naman like Samsung, merong mga USB mics na around. They're also good. But of course, if we're talking about versatility, USB interface nyo na po yan.
So yun po, para mas crispy at parang DJ yung ating boses. Pwede naman pong katulad sa mic ni Sir Jomark na tag 2.5. Or if you want to invest to better branded, pwede naman po basta kaya ng budget. Okay, so are there more questions po? Baka may hahabol pa.
Ano gusto na ng mga tao? Raffle draw.
Parang
Anong pa po
na-excite.
kayo? Anyways, we're always here naman sa Camtasia Learning Group natin, and DICT Basulta is a long-term partner. So kahit diyan kayo magtanong, kahit saan pa yan, we're
Yes.
ready to answer your questions.
Ito sir, from Sir JJ Tanya, may watermark po ba? Meron po ba ito sa ating Camtasia?
Yes, kanina when we exported, pwede kang maglagay ng watermark. Pero for me, ako sir, I'll probably be bringing in Photoshop. Tapos ilalagay ko dito sa lower right, diba? Pwede yan, sir. Hindi tayo maglagay. Ayan. So later, I'll be sharing the final project, final output for this. Lalagyan ko rin sir ng watermark ng DICT. Ayan.
Yeah, so we have a few more questions po sa ating Zoom. Let's read po some for a while po.
Tanong po kayo, there are a lot of opportunities sa video editing, kahit hindi pa video editing yan, kahit teaching pa yan. Ask me questions po. For me, while waiting for questions, no, imbis na nalungkot kami sa pandemic, naging masaya. Naging masaya kasi before we're doing things the hard way, we're doing in-person training, and then pandemic happened. The realization is we can help a lot of people, we can reach a lot of people, ayan, through creating videos and tutorials. And Camtasia po talaga ang pinakamabilis na workflow dyan. Unlike if you're in the Adobe system, you have to move back and forth, back and forth. Sir, ano po disadvantage ng Camtasia sa Premiere? Sir, of course, advantage sir, definitely screen recording. If you're teaching talaga, if you're teaching, diba, softwares, ganyan, creating, mabilisan, to create instructional videos, definitely Camtasia. V8
Ayun.
for your mic. Pwede rin sir, V8.
V8.
Yung pang karaoke, okay din yan sir. Di ba yung V8 parang USB interface din yan, di ba? You can plug another mic dyan.
Ito po, regarding naman sa space na kinoconsume ng Camtasia. I tried Camtasia for 1.5 minute pero umabot na agad sa 150 MB. Paano po ito mapababa? May compressor po bang gagamitin or...
Sir, hindi mo lang siguro naabutan pero you can watch the replay. Let me show you another files of mine. Ito mga video na to sir, like for scene settings. Ayan, ito po, itong video na to, it only is around 80 MB. Ganun po talaga sir, 80 MB, 1920 by 1080. Mababa na po yun. Sir Jomer.
So ayun po, another question. How about pag walang signal or remote area?
Yep,
Applicable
no need for
po?
signal po. It's a
Kasi
standalone
offline
application.
naman yan.
Yep.
Okay. How about translation, automatic translation and subtitle or text?
Ayun. Yeah. Kaya ko po gusto kong magtanong kayo kasi I cannot do the whole demo. At saka kaya I've created the course po for everyone. Ayan, pinaghirapan ko yan kaya sana ma-appreciate. Nandiyan po lahat. Anyways, for voice recorder, automatically translate or subtitle to text. Pwede din po and you can do that manually. Actually, ang ginagamit po namin sa pag-create ng captions ay Camtasia po instead na YouTube. So, ano ba to? The demo. Ayan. So, pwede ko lang lagyan yung section na yan. Diba? As a graphic designer. Ayan po, ma'am. Diba? Meron na akong CC, closed caption, and then we can export that as well. Ayan, export captions. Speech to text. Nandiyan rin. Sync captions. Ayan, Miss Jean. So, again, maraming use. Tanong pa po.
Ayan, sir, may minimum limit po ba ang video screen recording ng Camtasia? From Mark S. Torco.
Parang kanina 'to, kanina po, highly suggesting when you create videos, hanggang ano lang po, hanggang 15 minutes. So ito po, nasaan ba ako ngayon? This one is around, 'di ba? This one is around 54 seconds. Again po, 15 minutes. Everything else sobrang mabigat na siya sa computer. Ang hirap na magalaw-galaw yung mga bagay-bagay. Job opportunities? Wala bang magtatanong? Baka tanungin niyo din. Gano'n po lahat. So kami po, together with the ICT 'no, so, ang goal po natin to generate jobs. Ako, I don't want to teach something na in the end papagalitan niyo lang ako na, "Wala pala sir, wala palang trabaho na makukuha dito. Sinayang yung oras ko." Sinayang niyo lang. So, whatever it is that we're teaching, definitely it is in demand at saka konti at saka malaki yung pay. So, I promise to natapusin yung tips na yun. Eto, sharing to you, LinkedIn. I made a quick search again, Camtasia. Okay? Usapang ano lang 'to, hindi video editing, 'di ba? But more on instructional design. Madalas ginagamit 'yan. Camtasia po lahat 'yan. Those are
So,
some of the
ayun po.
opportunities.
Sa mga nagtatanong ng job opportunities, you can browse po sa LinkedIn. Napakarami po in relation to Camtasia. Kasi may nagtanong din sa ating Zoom kung may trabaho daw po.
Ay, sir, sobrang dami. Ayun, you may probably have heard LinkedIn ngayon, pero I am always in LinkedIn and my purpose is to help out everyone out, get jobs. So, in conjunction, ewan ko, nag-training din ba kayo, Miss Dana, about podcasting?
Not yet. Baka
Not
in the
yet. So,
future, sir.
yep. So, marami rin tayong friends dyan na in conjunction with Camtasia, magandang additional. Parang virtual assistant pero sila ay nagma-manage ng podcast.
Yun,
So,
very trendy din ngayon ang podcast.
yes. Pwede po bang pre-rendering para hindi lag during editing? Sa Filmora nagla-lag siya. Wala Sir Carl, diretso render na siya agad.
Ito, sir, pahabol ni Sir JJ na nagtanong about watermark kanina. After exporting po ba, clean yung pag-export or
Ay,
may watermark? Yun pala yung ano niya,
mm.
tinutukoy niya.
Sir, may watermark 'yan pag pag hindi paid. Pero promise guys, nandito ako. Kung if you get to be serious with this, I guarantee yung ininvest nyo sa Camtasia, bawi. Offline na lang
Ayun.
natin pag-usapan yung ibang opportunities na gano'n. Pero ayoko masyadong sabihin sa teachers. Napagsabihan kami, yung ibang teachers hindi na nag-teach, umalis na sa ewan ko, sa DepEd. Mas malaki,
Ayun, so
basta may
follow niyo po
lucrative
si
na
Sir
pay.
Jomar. Ayun, follow niyo po siya sa LinkedIn for more opportunities sa mga interested pong seryosohin ang Camtasia.
Ah, success story ba? Marami po.
Ayan, read
Ayan,
ko lang
so
po yung comment ni Sir Roland. Nice, sir. Correct. Nice, correct po, sir. It's a backup knowledge also for individuals. Mas maraming alam, mas more opportunities, sabi niya sa ating Zoom chat.
kahit Camtasia lang po yung hawak nyo and passion to teach, I'm sure marami po kayong nakikita diyan mga edu creator. If you're really passionate about teaching, ayan, Camtasia alone, sa bahay ka lang or papunta-punta ka sa ibang lugar, you're earning dollars.
So,
Ganun.
ayan. Ganon ka, yung opportunities. Ayan. Thank you, sir, and DICT for this opportunity to learn. Happy Teacher's Day to all sa ating mga educators. Happy Teacher's Day po. Bukas, I think it's World Teacher's Day tomorrow. So, any more questions po? Baka may gusto pa pong humabol. Ayan, we have in our chat box yung registration natin for the course. Is this for the course, Sir Jomar?
Yep. So, few months ago ko lang natapos tong course na to. So, binuhos ko po talaga lahat dyan because alam ko naman kayo, pag live stream, chill lang, di ba? Pero if you're serious now, you connect with me in LinkedIn, you take up this course. Seryoso ko pong ginawa
Ayun.
yan. Andyan po lahat. Free for all.
Free po
Basta,
yan. Grab this opportunity.
supportahan nyo lang yung DICT. Yan, Basulta. Mag-register din kayo dyan.
Opo. Okay, so
Ginawa ko
I
na lang
think
yung title na YouTube video tutorial kasi multi-purpose naman yan eh. You can bring it to YouTube or anything else, or you can bring it to Skillshare.
so pwede po siya in multiple different platforms yung ating gagamitin. Ayan, so parang
I
wala
forgot.
na mga questions. Ay, sige, yes sir.
Camtasia also has a certification exam. Tanungin nyo na lang kami with DICT kung interested kayo. But I think for now, kausap ko yung mga taga Camtasia. If you purchase a Camtasia license, kasama yung certification exam. So, actually kanina, ang intent ko talaga, tatapusin ko talaga yan mamaya. It boosts up your credential pag meron po kayong mga digital badges. Again,
Mga
LinkedIn is
certificates
a
pa.
database, and when recruiters searches for candidates, ilalagay niyan Photoshop, Camtasia na skill. So, madalas sa DICT, pinag-uusapan naman natin yung SEO, di ba po? So,
Yes
yung
po.
SEO po na yun, it applies to you. To your career,
Yeah.
to your resume, to your presence online. Hindi po pang business din yun, pang sarili nyo po yun.
So,
And
i-establish na natin yung keywords para sa
yes,
ating
tama po
profile.
yun. Keywords. So, kung ikaw ay lumalabas, kunyari ng Camtasia Philippines LinkedIn, diba? Oh, si Ronel, that is a huge weight on your Camtasia video editor. Mag-WordPress din si sir. Freelance. Ayan nakakita tayo ng success story agad. He's living the dream. Hindi scripted yan guys nag-search lang ako ngayon.
Yes, real real success
Real time
stories
yan.
ng ating
And thank you so much again DICT, 'di ba? Ang dami nating natututunan, unlike before. It's a great time, a great era to learn and to learn and to learn.
Baka hopefully sir tayo yung mga participants natin lalabas na sa first page talaga ng Google yung kanilang mga pangalan pag nag-search na tayo ng Camtasia in the future.
Yeah, ayan ang dami. Philippines lang to guys usapang Camtasia lang. Paano kung marunong ka pa ng Photoshop, 'di ba? Ng mga Adobe softwares. You're at home, you're earning dollars. you own your time, and you get to choose your clients. Pag makulit si client, di wag mo tanggapin, di ba? You have that freedom.
Yes.
I know a lot of persons na ganun yan sa tanong pa po. Career. Of course, related everything else to the ICT.
Ayan. So, I think may mga katanungan pa ba? Parang na-excite na tuloy sa raffle yung ibang participants natin.
Yeah. So, raffle na daw. Ayun na. Okay, so wag po sayangin. I'll be giving away. Sorry, hindi Netflix. Invest more in education than entertainment, and eventually treat education as entertaining. Okay, so wag sayangin. If you have questions kung sino man ang manalo on how to hunt clients, I'm using LinkedIn to hunt down clients. Of course, definitely mas maganda kliyente. Hindi Pinoy. Pag Pinoy daw, ano eh.
Kurip.
Ayan. So, hindi lang actually access to LinkedIn Learning, access to business premium. Lowest GPU na pwede for Camtasia. Sir, kung pwede, 4 gig na ano nyo po, RTX, 4 gig. CPU po talaga, tsaka RAM muna bago GPU.
Sir Carl John Espinosa, may scholarship po ba sa DICT? Sir, follow niyo po yung ating mga DICT Facebook accounts. We post po kung may openings tayo for our digital jobs training scholarship. So napakarami po nating fields. Nandyan po si VA, si social media management, and even graphic designing. So abang-abang po tayo sa mga future scholarships po.
Yep. Sige na.
Ayan, papunta na daw po tayo sa exciting
Ito na.
part. Yan na yung ating raffle.
So, 𝐞-𝐂𝐞𝐫 de Villa. Okay, so the terms are, you have to message me in LinkedIn before this live stream ends. Yun lang po. So, this raffle draw is specifically sa kasama natin today, hindi ng iwan. Ayan. Alitan tayo, Miss Dana. May bibigay ka din.
Teka lang sir ha, check ko muna. Yes po, ready na rin po yung ating raffle. Sige, i-draw na natin yung winner ng 100 pesos load. Request ko lang ating tech team. Ayan. So let's first have our first winner sa ating 100 pesos load from DICT. Yan po, si Andaway Ellie Joans, KDE. So we will send you your load details within the week. Sir Jomark, ayan, nag-reply na po si Nika. Thank you so much. So please contact po Sir Jomark for your winnings po.
Okay. Ako naman.
Ayan.
Romel. Sana taga Mindanao to. Romel Viduya. Congratulations, sir. Our winner in Facebook. Again,
Congrats.
message me in LinkedIn before this live stream ends. Pag hindi po, bahala na si Miss Dana po magpa-raffle niyan.
Ayan. Grab nyo na po. Ayan, nag-comment na siya. So, active naman po si Sir Romel. Munti ka nang mahagip si Sir JJ. Sige, add natin for our second.
So at least dito sa amin, hindi 463 yung nanalo, di ba?
Ay,
433 daw,
trending yan eh.
433.
Congratulations po, Sir Vincent Anyora Bello for the 100 pesos load. And Sir John Mark, meron pa po kayo, isa pa ba?
Yep.
Okay. Ayun,
Uy.
tumampak na kay Sir JJ.
Galing ah. Tadhana. Sir, tumaya ka din ng loto. It's your day.
Malas daw siya pero nanalo.
Oh, it's your day, sir. $60 din yan, sir. A month.
Okay, Sir JJ, chat nyo na po si Sir John Mark sa kanyang LinkedIn. Okay, one more po para sa ating load. Congratulations po, Resari Glenn Jr. B. Ayan, so i-email po natin yung inyong load details within the week.
Ayan. So again, if you're really interested to learn Camtasia, nandun po yung registration form. I-enroll nyo po yung sarili nyo. Sorry, nakakapagod. I-manually enroll kayo if ever na madami. So, we're giving this for free to everyone. Ayan. If you really would like to learn to master Camtasia.
Thank you so much, Sir Joe Mark. Ayan, so don't forget to register to the Camtasia course. Nasa ating comment section din po yung ating link, and also follow ang ating mga profiles sa LinkedIn. Si Sir Joe Mark po sa LinkedIn. Okay, so before we end, let us award our certificate to our resource person. Ayan, so we will read the citation. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Information and Communications Technology Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Joe Mark Bakiran for sharing his insights and expertise as resource person during the webinar on Teaching with Camtasia, conducted on October 4, 2022 via Zoom video communications, given this 4th day of October 2022. This is signed by our officer in charge, Sir Aris Austria. So maraming salamat po, Sir John Mark. Any words po before we end our webinar this afternoon?
Ayun. So again, thank you, Dana, DICT team, Sir Aris Austria, and yeah, looking forward to partner with everyone for the long term. Marami kaming training actually din kapareho ng DICT. It's okay na pag-isahin na lang po, and I always believe in collaboration. And ayun, moving forward, let's always move forward. Our intent po talaga, we started the community. The intention was really to be a blessing. And if you can see what we're doing, lahat po yan free. And sa abot ng aking convincing powers, marami rin tayong mga foreign, you can see what we're doing. We have foreign speakers as well. So, thank you so much, DICT. And yeah, looking forward for more of anything na makatulong po sa ating kababayan.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Joe Mark. So, bigyan naman po natin si Sir Joe Mark ng virtual round of applause. Okay, and to close this webinar, let us hear from our focal of the ICT Literacy and Competency Development of the DICT Region 9 and Basulta, Sir Alkaizer M. Musa. Sir Kaiser.
Hey, Miss Dana, can you hear me?
Yes
Ayun,
po.
ayan. Thank you, Miss Dana. Sir Joe Mark, maraming salamat po sa team po ng Mechani Web at Digital Creatives. Thank you po no for giving us this opportunity to partner with you in conducting this webinar. So also to our participants no in Zoom, in YouTube, in Facebook, and also meron bang nag-join sa ating StreamYard. So yan, we are currently streaming in multiple platforms no. So thank you no for joining us in this learning session. So thank you very much for joining us in this webinar on teaching with Camtasia. We are thankful no, to our resource person, Sir Joe Mark Bakirit, who has shared his knowledge and expertise on how to use this tool or application, especially in video recording, collaboration, and editing. Hopefully, this will not be the first and last that we will have with us, Sir John Mark and his team. Indeed, no, this is another learning experience for our participants who hopefully have learned a lot and will be able to use their knowledge in school and work. So, may DICT continue to provide better ICT opportunities to our participants and stakeholders to slowly bridge the digital divide. So, once again, maraming salamat po. See you po on our next webinars. That's all, Ma'am Dana. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Sir Kaiser. And before we leave, we will have a quick photo opportunity. May I request Sir John Mark again and Sir Aries, if you're still around, to join us for a quick photo opportunity. Okay, so if everyone's ready at the count of three, ready, one, two, smile. Okay, so maraming salamat po. Thank you again, Sir John Mark, for gracing us with your presence in this webinar. Just a quick reminder for those asking po about our e-certificates. Again, you need to join the live session that is streamed on Zoom and via Facebook Live. You need to submit the post-evaluation, so that is given at the end of the webinar session. Your e-certificates will be processed within 1 to 2 weeks, and this will be a certificate of participation to those who will be able to comply with the training requirements that I have mentioned. So ayan na po yung hinihintay natin for those who have joined us. This is the evaluation link. Kindly accomplish this link until 12 midnight only. Ayan po, don't forget to follow us on the Facebook page, DICT9 Basulta, for our upcoming webinars and trainings. We have also posted our calendar of events for the month of October. So abang-abang po tayo sa ating mga registration links for the trainings and webinars. And then ipa-plug ko na lang rin po yung ating upcoming webinar on Friday, that's October 7 at 9 a.m. to 12 noon on online presentation tools. And our speaker is not new to us, so he will be joining us from Ateneo de Zamboanga University. So don't forget to register po sa mga hindi pa po nakapag-register. So that's it for today's webinar. Maraming salamat po. Once again, this is Dana. Thank you for joining us on the webinar on Teaching with Camtasia. Stay safe, everyone, and God bless.